Welcome to day 204 of 66 and 26. We're beginning week 30 today as we're back in the book of Leviticus, chapters 19 to 21. In this section of Leviticus, God is instructing through Moses about the sins and punishments for those sins for the people of Israel. Also instructions for the priests who are serving in the tabernacle and later in the temple of the Lord. I want to focus in especially on Leviticus 19 today and notice several things. First, you'll see some reiteration, some familiar words, because it's actually repeating the 10 commandments. Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another, and that kind of thing. So we're seeing some further definition of those 10 commandments. Another thing that we should take note of as we're reading through Leviticus and reading about these laws of the Old Testament, remember that God established these laws so that the people of Israel could look different than all the other nations. God says, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 2, "Be holy because I, the Lord your God, am holy." And that word holy simply means set apart, unlike anything else. God is unlike anything else, and so he wants his people to be unlike all the other nations. One thing that you'll see is that God is instructing the people of Israel to do things in reaction or in relation to other people that is going to be different than what you would see generally in the world. As an example, Leviticus 19 verses 9 and 10, "When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap to the very edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest." So you're not going to the very edges, and you're not going through a last time to get all the last fruit of the vines or the crops of the fields. Instead, leave those for the poor and the alien, those who are foreigners in the land. Leave those edges and the gleanings as a way of being generous to those who do not have a means of providing for themselves. As another example, God says, verse 18, "Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against one of your people, but love your neighbor as yourself." And one of the marks of all the other nations would be to take vengeance and to retaliate against someone because of their actions. And we'll see this much later when Jesus says, turn the other cheek. If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to him the other. If someone was going to steal your coat, give them your shirt also. And so God is instructing the people to be very different than what you would see normally around the other nations. You'll also notice that in the laws of these chapters, God is very often tying the law to his own character. So I didn't even count how many times. It's very, very often in these chapters, God will say, "Do not turn to idols or make gods of cast metal for yourselves. I am the Lord your God. Leave the crops to the poor and the alien. I am the Lord your God. Do not swear falsely by my name. I am the Lord your God." So over and over and over again, God is tying the character of the nation to his own character and reminding them he is Lord, and he's the Lord God who is holy, and so his people are to be holy. It's a reminder to us too, even though we're not tied specifically to all the Old Testament laws anymore because they have been fulfilled in Jesus Christ, we still see the principle of God calling his people, even us Christians, calling us to be different than what you would see anywhere else in the world. So where someone might retaliate, we would turn the other cheek and show grace and forgiveness. And in that way, we're showing God's character of being unique and set apart, unlike anything else.